This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and as always, I'm delighted to be joined by trainer Don Charles over Zoom this time. Don, how is life? How's things been going since we last spoke?
Yeah, everything's been going very well. It hasn't been. It's been about. Is it 4 weeks?
About 4 weeks, roughly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's So obviously, it's business as usual. We're here again, Florian, Marku.
Talk to me about your preparations with Florian. We know what to expect from him, but how has it been kind of from the mental side of having the entire debacle effectively of fear and not fighting and then having to find a new opponent at such short notice?
Yeah, it's been obviously very testing for all concerned, from the matchmakers to the managers to the promoter to myself, the training team, to the fighter. It's been very, how can I put it? I've experienced similar things in the past with fighters that I've trained, but nothing to this degree, According to the matchmaker, they tried at least 4 different opponents before they could find a suitable opponent who's willing to take the fight with a decent record, because we weren't just looking for anybody. Somebody with a winning record, and is very, very difficult. And the ones with the winning records, they don't want to tarnish their record, so they rejected it. Even at these times where you'd think people be jumping at opportunities to work, to fight, because there's not many fights. Fighters are not as busy as they could be, So you'd think people be jumping at it, especially on such a big platform. The Anthony Joshua show in Wembley, you think people will be jumping at that opportunity. Even taking all that into consideration, people are not jumping at it.
We know what to expect with Florian. We know he loves to entertain the crowd. He's all action from the first bell. But with regards to the change of opponents, how does it change kind of your own preparations in terms of what you've been able to study previously on the past opponent to what you do have to now with Jamie Stewart?
Well, with the aid of the internet today, it makes things a lot easier. Obviously, there's not really a lot of information of this Jamie Stewart. I mean, I have to again, is it the right word? Congratulate him, and I have to admire him for his willingness to step up at this short notice. Quite remarkable. To take this opportunity. He's that typical example of a guy who sits around waiting for opportunities. He's always ready. According to him, he's always in the gym. So when he got the call, he was like, yeah, definitely, I'm up for this. And he's coming off the back of a win. I'm sure you're aware. He fought Hennessy Jr. He's coming off the back of a very good victory. He's unbeaten, although he's only had 2 fights. He's unbeaten. And I've looked at him, what there is to see about him, the footage you see online. Very durable, very good boxer, very good, very tough, mentally and physically very tough. So it's the type of challenge that Florian relishes.
Now, Don, I'm sure you was made aware, obviously, on the back of everything that unfolded on Tuesday night. For the best part of probably an hour to 2 hours, there was a lot of hype about a potential fight with Chris Kongo, which took place over social media. Obviously, Chris and Florian, that is, for this coming Saturday. Can you just kind of explain to me what you knew about that from your point, and if it was ever a real possibility? Chris has come out saying that he was happy to fight at 150, but you guys, Florian's team wanted him to fight at championship weight at 147.
Most definitely. I mean, I was aware of it. I was made aware of it. It was quite late on in the day when I got the call. I was actually lying down in my bed later on Tuesday night, and I got a call. I thought it was a joke saying, "No, are we willing to fight Chris Kongo this Saturday?" I said, "Come on, basically, we're not in the macho business. If we were, every man has that testosterone energy. If we were in the macho business, the fighter wanted to do it. Florian wanted to do it, but obviously it's up to myself and Sam Jones, who manages Florian Marku, and I'm the trainer. My macho, every man has a macho percentage of macho in them. My macho head says, let's do it because the fighter wants to do it. But my sensible head says, no, why should we do something that is we've got in our plans along the way? We've mapped out, we've sat down and mapped out the route, especially the opportunity that Florian has suddenly been given on the platform of Matchroom. We're not going to divert from that. There's a great opportunity here to take the fights accordingly to complete the journey. Why do a sudden rush? Yes, with Florian, I'm not the fighter. I'm speaking basically reciting what the fighter, these discussions I've had with him. He's relishing the opportunity to fight Chris Kongo. I think Chris Kongo is an exceptional fighter. I've seen him over the period. He's a very, very well schooled technical fighter, but nevertheless, is someone we have. Or when I say we as a collective, Florian definitely wants to fight him. If it was left to Florian, he'll fight him this Saturday at the chosen weight that we want to compete at. So when we got that call, I thought it was a joke, but it was actually a serious thing. Then the weight came into play where we would campaign at the weight that's suitable for us, the championship weight, even on short. I'm not sure why Chris, if he's just calling our bluff, because if we turned around, Florian turned around and said, yeah, we'll fight you, but we'll do it at 147. So I'm not sure if he's just using it as an opportunity this is promotion, to promote his own name. Why not? Why not, indeed? But you know, it's a patient thing. Provided we come through Saturday, we've still got to fight. We've still got to focus on the fight we have ahead of us. We're not overlooking this chap, Jamie Stewart, especially he's the unknown. Jamie Stewart is unknown in the sense that I know as much as everybody knows about him, not a lot. So we have to not take our eyes off this man, because he could potentially obstruct what we're trying to do. So all the attention and focus is purely on Jamie Stewart. And when we overcome that, and I believe my fighter will overcome him on Saturday, and then we'll look at other things. Like I said, we have a definitive plan for the near and the future. So yeah, Chris has to just carry on doing what he's doing, keep winning, stay focused. He too has to stay focused to what he's chasing. Everyone's chasing their dreams, their goals. Provided he stays unbeaten, we stay unbeaten, I'm sure that's the fight for the future, for the near future.
With that in mind, you mentioned it being in the near future. Do you have a kind of a timeline in your own mind as to when you would like to see that fight? Because like I say, certainly for that hour, 2 hours over social media, it garnered a lot of kind of anticipation, a lot of hype, and a lot of people were excited at just the possibility of it happening, even though realistically wasn't going to.
Well, you know, it's step by step, isn't it? It's no secret. I can tell you that provided we come through Saturday, which I strongly believe we will, the next opponent, I'm sure you've heard it mentioned, is Ryland Charlton. That's the next fight after this. We have to overcome Saturday. And then after Ryland, if we come through that, again, I strongly believe we will. And then you'll probably be looking at getting it on with Mr. Kongo. And yeah, so that's the sort of time frame, maybe the summer. You know, I'm not a promoter. I'm not the promoter. I'm the trainer. Obviously, I'm involved in the discussions that we have as the collective, the team. And that's what's been said.
Don, just to move away from all things Florian, just get your thoughts on the rest of the card. Obviously, you see Anthony Joshua defending his titles against Kubrat Pulev. What are your thoughts on the fight, Don?
This is a very, very difficult fight. It's not a foregone conclusion like a lot of people never write any opponent off. You know, you weigh up all the strengths and the weaknesses. I always say how I see it personally. Pulev he's been a long campaigner in the heavyweight division. He's fought literally everybody. Okay, he's been successful in most cases. He's only been beaten once by Vladimir Klitschko, and it took a sledgehammer of a left hook to floor him. He's a very, very tough man. He's seen every style, he's boxed every style. And I expect him to be stubborn for the first 4 or 5 rounds. And I think the younger man, Anthony Joshua, should overpower him. And Pulev is 39 years old, isn't he? So the younger man, Anthony, I think, like I said, he'll be stubborn for a good 4 or 5 rounds. Then Father Time will start creeping in, and that's what you're going to see. And I think it will probably see a late stoppage coming from Joshua.
A couple of heavyweight fights I was trying to get your thoughts on, Dom, before I do just let you shoot off. Well, a couple of other topics to touch on as well. But Hughie Fury versus Marius Vac, what are you expecting in that one? You know, a lot of people see that one going the distance. We know Hughie's a good boxer. A lot of people wanting to see him kind of just sit down a bit more on his punches and to see what kind of power he can hold at heavyweight now. Do you expect to see him be a bit more adventurous, or do you expect it to go the way that many are suggesting, certainly over social media?
Well, I'll have to go with the majority. We know how Hughie boxes. In my opinion, every heavyweight can punch, some more than others. It's all to do with mindset. Hughie is, again, his approach to the well, it's not a game, is it? To the fight, every fight, yeah, winning is the objective. Get that W, yeah. I personally, I think a lot is made. Obviously, the audience want to see a knockout. That's what they're paying for. They want to see a big man fall, right? I'm not one of those people, right? I'm a teacher, so therefore, the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. If you get hit, minimize how many times you get hit, and that's the mindset and the approach of Hughie Fury. He demonstrates the art. When Anthony Joshua boxed, I'll give you an example. When Anthony Joshua went for the second fight of Ruiz, he put on what we in the industry class as a master class, yeah? Hit and don't get hit with the same strategy, okay? And everyone was applauding and saying, fantastic, yeah? So why is it then when someone like Hughie Fury adopts that attitude, yeah, display of boxing, okay, and you don't see him coming out of fight all bashed up, his face all bashed up, and because it demonstrates the art of boxing is to hit and not get hit. And I personally like watching that, the art of boxing. Obviously, the majority of the audience want to see blood. They want to see someone absolutely hammered and knocked out. So I believe if the knockout presents itself, then he will get the knockout. He's not a knockout specialist, okay? I know many heavyweights, many boxers. Even the great late Muhammad Ali, it wasn't a knockout specialist. He stopped a lot of people in his career, but he didn't go out there looking to absolutely knock people out. He demonstrated the art of boxing speed, and he will break you down. You either quit or you get knocked out eventually. Yeah. So, but he wasn't known for his punching power. Even Tyson Fury, who's the best heavyweight in the division right now, again, he's not known for his punching power. He can knock you out and will knock you out. Again, I think a lot is made up of this knockout. No, I don't see if the knockout presents itself, Hughie is good enough and experienced enough to seize the opportunity and not Marius. Marius what I couldn't take out. He's very durable. I don't recall him being knocked out in his career.
I think he had a few, I believe. Povetkin stopped him.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the others were now. There's two others that have slipped my mind, but they're well-noted fighters.
Yeah, he's noted for going the distance with most people. So I think he fought Gerald Miller as well, didn't he? I think Gerald Miller stopped him. I think Gerald Miller stopped him. Anyway, so I believe Hughie's going to go there to win the fight, break him down, and if the opportunity presents itself, I'm sure you'll see a stoppage, a late stoppage. Hughie doesn't fight like that. He doesn't go out there trying to knock people out. He's going out there to win and use his boxing skills. And I don't think you're going to see anything different Saturday except for that.
And then the final fight on the card to touch on is one between Martin Bakoli and Sergey Kuzmin. A lot of people again just seem to think that could be the fight which steals the show. Do you think that could be the case yourself?
No, Florian Marku is going to steal the show. No, but no, serious or not serious. We're talking about heavyweights here. Basically, yeah, that's a fight where you're likely going to see a knockout because they both characters can punch. Kuzman can punch, and Martin Bakoli definitely can punch. And I've saw him and his trainer Billy Graham. No, it's not Billy Graham. Billy Nelson. Billy Graham used to train Ricky Hatton, so that's always get us to Billy's mixed up. Billy Nelson. Speaking to Billy earlier, I saw them having a little workout. Martin shed a lot of weight. He's looking more athletic these days than he has ever done. The sharpness will be there. So yeah, you definitely. I believe if there's going to be any knockouts on Saturday, you're going to see either Kuzman or I'm going for obviously Bakoli. I believe he's got really good boxing ability, very smart fighter, and yeah, you probably see a knockout from him.
And then just two other fights I want to get your thoughts on away from this card, Don. Go back to this past weekend. We saw Yarde-Arthur overcome Anthony Yarde. I don't suppose you caught it, and if you did, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I watched the fight. It was a very cagey fight from start to, with the exception of the last round where Anthony opened up. Again, it depends on what you like in boxing. It's very, very subjective. So I think a draw wouldn't have been a bad shout. Yeah, because from where I was looking at it, yes, Arthur was picking off Anthony with jabs. Yeah, round after round after round. Anthony was pressing the fight, and anytime Anthony sort of opened up, it looked like he was going to stop Arthur. That again, like I said, it depends on what you like. When you're scoring fights, people have all different methods of scoring fights. That's why we're having this debate, you know, who won the fight, who won. And I think a draw wouldn't have been a bad shout for the result of that fight. But I could see why Arthur would have got it. Even Arthur said at the end of the fight, if he lost, if it was awarded to Yarde, he wouldn't have complained. But having watched it first time, if I was going to give it to anybody, I would have given it to Arthur, purely based on the amount of jabs he landed. Okay. But like I said, yeah, maybe that was the right result in my opinion, because he was the champion, right? And from my knowledge or all the time of watching boxing, to beat a champion, you really have to beat the champion. If we have a belt and we're defending our belt and the challenger really has to rip it off of us. So for that reason, really, yeah, I'm glad the champion kept his belt, because you really have to win it. You can't just go and steal a belt from a champion. You really have to earn it. And I don't believe Yarde did enough. Yes, every time he opened up, it looked like he was going to stop Arthur. Obviously, I have to be very careful when I'm speaking to you, because I know Tunde very well and I know Yarde very well. So I might be sounding a bit biased at times, purely because I have to not let my heart rule. I have to put my boxing head on. Yeah, based on because I was scoring it as I was watching the fight. A draw wouldn't have been a scream. People wouldn't have scored, you know. But I can understand why the judges would have given it to Arthur, quite deservedly.
Right, Don, final thing. Next weekend, we see Canelo versus Callum Smith. I just want to get a preview from you. How do you expect the fight to play out?
Well, again, you know me, I'm Mr. Underdog. I should change my middle name to Mr. Underdog Charles. So everyone is straight away, as soon as the match was made, that, oh, Canelo has won. Again, I disagree. For a lot of reasons, I'm going to go for our man Smith, okay? For a lot of reasons. I'm not going to go into lecturing you or the audience. Everyone's got their opinion, but my opinion is, don't be surprised if Smith stops Canelo. You heard it here first, all right? And I mean that. It's not a joke. You know, I think it's a bridge too far. Canelo, by the way, is my current favorite fighter on the planet. Yeah, okay. Is my favorite to watch, and but I really think he's bitten off more than what he can chew here. The size matters, and I'm afraid in this case, size really does matter. You got a young guy who can punch, can do everything. People are probably judging him by the fight with Ryder, yeah, styles, and also maybe he wasn't up for that fight. You know, some fighters get the boxers' juices flowing. Maybe that fight wasn't the fight he was expected to win. You know, he just maybe mentally, casually went out there for, I'll just do my routine and I'll win. And Ryder was up for it and made a hell of a fight for it, and was unlucky not to get the decision, in my opinion. But I can't base it. I got to base it purely on what Smith had done prior to Ryder. Yeah, and he's gonna be really. Listen, Canelo has got it all to lose, right? Okay, got it all. Everyone's expecting him to win. The pressure is on Canelo, not Smith. Obviously, Smith doesn't want to lose these things. He's unbeaten record and stuff. And yeah, I'm siding or picking him, not siding. I'm picking him to pull off this victory with a win, and with a stoppage win. I've even gone further to say a stoppage win. It does happen, and has happened in the history of boxing. You go through the history of boxing, the unexpected. Lloyd Honeyghan against Don Curry. Okay, many times people have pulled off this type of wins, and it does happen. And I think you're about to see another one.
Don, we will leave that there now. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day and your evening ahead. I appreciate your time as always. Best of luck on Saturday, and thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Always a pleasure.